So now all these politicians, like I said, if I were you, I'd look at that house that's gonna get torn down with the rest of your fucking history and enjoy it one last time. If I were you, I'd make changes now before your children do. Or before you have to sit around and wonder why everything's leaving you little by little. That's something you need to think about. Because you're trapped. You're very trapped. You see, you guys thought you were so smart. Look at Afghanistan and their children. Where are they? CPS can't even fucking find them again. Why is it that you guys only want children, huh? To destroy the future, to keep your family in those political parties? To tear away the future so that way yours can be secure? That was your plot? Well, now that your plan has been seen, it's in reverse now. Your family is no longer secure. You made everybody's family a target for your sick games because you weren't man enough to take care of your family, or you thought your family was such a bitch and a pussy they couldn't take care of themselves. So you let everybody else suffer. But guess what? We're gonna give suffrage where it fucking belongs. And it starts with you and your seeds. If you got a problem with it, I suggest you change shit now, because if you step down, you've locked yourself in for your doom. You make no change and you walk away, you don't walk away from this. You get closer to your grave, because you had a chance then and you will lose your chance when you walk off. Oh, look at that. That looks like a Blair Witch program. Nancy? I'm just saying. You guys thought you were so funny, so slick, huh? And remember, this is global. Why do you think there's called a thing called the United Nations? All the big political parties get together, right? They all get together. And they're able to plot together. Why is it that they don't shoot each other in there? You know why? Because they're all buddies. So now it's up to us. You know, we overnumber them by the trillions. You know that, right? There's not as many politicians or seeds as there are us. Not even after Corona. They thought that was gonna do something, but it didn't do shit. Except leave more and show more people that got heart, that God selected for this big revolution. Every plot that they ever made against us will be used against them. Every piece of information that they've ever tried to delete is already with Anonymous. We have a folder that sucks up everything before it gets dissolved. That's why they started sinking ships, to put the important documents in the water and sink them with the captains to make sure that it's sunk. But they didn't know people were taking pictures of those just in case and deleting them and putting them in internet files to be found. Just as your forefathers gave us the Second Amendment, those people made a valley in the waters for Moses and his people. Every piece of information is known. There is not one deleted record off the face of this earth. And that's happened since the beginning of the internet ever opening up. You guys didn't even know it. You guys are so caught up at those little parties, you forgot that there are more intelligent people that don't respect you don't want to be a part of you, and they've been behind lines. And they're looking at all those that are very accountable. You know, when I talked to that captain and he told me that he's ashamed of himself, he said, I'll give you this only because I'm ashamed that everything in this movie is necessary. And he said, I know how it's been for years. And he said, yeah, there needs to be change. And if that's what it takes, here you go. And he passed it over, just like that. Passed it over to my brothers, my sisters, to retirees. Passed it over to some of his most valued brothers in arms. And now everybody's listening to you guys right now until it's time to prance on you. Everybody is listening to you right now until it's time to pull out the cuchillo and stab you in the back just like Caesar. If you look at all history, you would know what the life is for a politician, one way or another, especially one like you guys. Caesar, stabbed by his own people because he watched them go hungry. The empire that went against Samson and tried to enslave him, he dropped the whole towers on the entire evil and killed them. Just like David, standing up against Goliath. Now, you thought your Goliath was huge, but your Goliath is actually a projector using medias and everything else to make you look a lot bigger than you are. You use influence to look a lot more powerful than you really are. But when you really look at it, you guys won't even die at war. What makes you think that you're gonna come after us? You're just a deer that was standing right next to the fucking train tracks watching animals eat. And now that there's nothing left, they spotted you. They all looked at you and said, you guys wouldn't shoot a gun even if somebody walked up to you right now. But you know what? I know people that would. All around the world, have you not seen it? The riots during Floyd. These tough gang members. If it wasn't for your CIA and FBI being some of the leads of these guys would have already attacked you guys a long time ago. The only way you guys can secure the streets is by getting your CIA and FBI inside and containing it. Yep. By controlling them and distracting them to attack each other, they look like the bad people. You never go to jail. And yeah, instead they go. So how do you get that kind of protection? So when you think about it for a while, whack, 6'9", all them. When you really look at it, even if you counted up every leader and every Congress and politician, even if you counted out all of the high rankers, you guys are still not outnumbering us. Even if you count all the influence. You still don't outnumber us. You do realize that God says, you reap what you sow, right? And he says, I'll give you 10 times more than what you asked for. 10 times more. You guys try to destroy a populace. Families. How many people do you think we overrun you by? 10 times more than you. 10 times more than you guys. That's how many of us there are. Now, the weapons you used against us that will no longer prosper. Imagine that coming at you 10 times worse than you've ever done to us. Think about it. People want to live with meaning. And the only thing stopping us from a true life and meaning are you guys. You know that? You guys are the only ones stopping us from true life and meaning. True life is time with family, usable resources, and friendly neighbors. That means if we grew out all these fruits and veggies, people would end up balancing things out and finding ways and investing their intelligence on regulatories, on lines, on a system to be able to provide food throughout. You guys wanted to control the food so that way they all relied on you. You wanted to be the main source of money. You wanted all the pussy. You wanted everything for yourself. Greed. And you wanted the common people to be so hungry, they're willing to do anything for you. Well, the tables are going to turn, and there's not a price you could pay to escape your fate. I'd call you brother, but you're the devil's son. I wouldn't call you brother. I wouldn't call you brother. Even if you gave me $1 trillion to do it. You're the devil's seed. And my oldest brother, when he said, my oldest brother Jesus, when he said he's coming back for vengeance, we're coming back. God and his people are coming for vengeance. And I feel bad for you if you're at the end of that. You should go take a look at a video in Mexico, what they do to people like you. And tell me how lucky you feel. Tell me how good do you feel. Because the spirit of the people are waking up. Like I told you, they're listening to you right now to make you feel like you still have control. And that one day when everything's going good for you, when you least expect it, just like the rest of the world, that's when it's gonna hit you. That's when it's gonna hit you. Enjoy your life right now. Think it's a game, think it's a joke. Look at all of history. We want change. It starts with you guys. Now, you were able to stop Malcolm and everybody else because there wasn't an internet to send this around the world so fucking quick. And now everybody knows. Before, nobody knew who was gonna plot. Before, it was real hard to know. Now we have tripwires. We have everything that just lets us know. You know that, right? And the more you try harder to try to contain us, the harder it's gonna get for you. Everything's recorded. Your phones are tapped. There's cameras everywhere. There's nowhere you can run or hide. There's not even anything that you can't think that we won't know about. So, just wait till we get to you then.